Hello, everyone. This is Robin Carter. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Flower Mound, Texas, and today I'm here to share my second video of alternates made with the July 2023 paper pumpkin kit named Fun in the Sun. So if you missed my previous video, it is in my channel. Just click on videos and it will list that video as the one before this one, as well as all of my other alternates for previous kits. Maybe you have some sticking around and you'd like a little inspiration. Be sure to watch those. So before I get started, let me thank those of you who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much for your support and your comments and all your thumbs up. I appreciate that. And if you're new to my channel, or maybe you've seen a few and haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel and ring the bell if you would like notifications of when I post a new video. So if you watched my last video, I showed how I made one into two, and I also showed how to fold the card if you want to make it like it suggests. But today I'm going to work with this card, and I'm going to cut that one up to make two cards and use some of its components for that. So let me get started with that. And before I begin with this kit, the subscription period is current for the August kit, and maybe it was just my box. We usually get a little flyer of a hint of the next kit. I didn't have that in my box, but I wanted to give you a little information. So it's about flowers. And also we are going to get an extra free stamp set that's a distinctive set of flowers. And so if you go to my blog, you will see a little description of the kit, the name, the coordinating colors, the ink spot that we're going to get, as well as a little banner picture that gives a hint as to the flowers. So I'm looking forward to that kit for next month. But let's get back to this kit because that's what we have today. And so let me get started. So I wanted to make regular cards. So these I just put on a regular thick white card base. And so I usually make a card with you on my videos, but for this kit, since I have limited supplies, I'm going to go over it in best detail that I can. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll do my best to get back to you. So let me set this aside. So with this kit, we also had this piece. And by the way, these envelopes and these envelopes are a part of my favorite things. And my favorite things are a list of items that I use in my craft room that Stampin' Up! Doesn't supply. It helps me keep my stuff organized. So I do share that. There is a link to those in the description box below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so those are safe links provided that I get from Amazon. So they are safe links to click on if you're interested in adding these items to your craft room. So if you use those links, I appreciate it. I get a few pennies back by doing that, and it costs you nothing. So it just helps support my business here. All right, so what I did to make this card, back to business, is I cut it here, okay? Actually, I cut it a little smaller, so I had a white border. That's my style. I kind of like that. And so I cut this piece out, and then I was going to adhere this main piece without the ocean to my card base. However, before you do that, it does help if you kind of line this up. Okay, and by the way, if you're going to trim the side, I would trim this side. It just makes it easier and you don't get too close to your sunshine there. Line this up like that and then tape it. But before I taped it, I wanted to cut off this white scallop here on this piece. Okay, so do that first. And then one of my favorite birds, I know I use them in May a lot, but it's from a past paper pumpkin kit. This You Are My Anchor, and so it has these little birds in it, little bitty stamp, so leave it on your block until you're going to put it away. And so I added more birds here on the right, just right there. Okay, so then once you tape this together, right, and have it cut to the size you want, I added that to my card base. Now, I wanted to save this palm tree for something else, but I wanted to also cover as much of this gap as I could. So I did put the palm tree there to help cover up this gap. So of course this would be behind there. You just can't see it because I'm not cutting that one out yet. Okay, so then I added some additional seashells. Now these are from the Season of Chic set, and that set looks like this. So it is for all seasons of the year. There's summer, the shells, flowers, leaves, and snowflakes. So let me just, this is not the size. It says here that images are 75%. It is a two-step stamping process, and I wanted to show the detail of these leaves. I love that leaf. So that one's on basic white with the two-step stamping. And this one's on Mossy Meadow, and I just did the one step of the detail. So I love that. Maybe I'll get lucky and the flowers from this kit will go with the next month's kit, so I'll get a little more bang for my buck with this bundle, although it's not available as a bundle right now. It is, it was available, I don't know, last catalog or something as a bundle, but they are still available. This stamp set item number is 158810. And the dies are 158815. And by the way, I do still have my host code going on through August 8th. So if you have an order and do not already have a demonstrator, I would appreciate you supporting me. And if your order is under 150, use this host code. And for merchandise orders of $75 or more, you will get a special gift from me. My ones for July just went out. I got my stuff in late. There was a long picking time on that order. And so those just went out today. So I apologize for those being late, but I sent them out as soon as I got them. And then if your order is 150 or more, you can still use this code, but you won't get Stampin' Rewards. So what that is orders of 150 or more, if you place it just as a customer, Stampin' Up! Gives you what's called Stampin' Rewards. And the percentage starts at 10%. And at certain levels, it goes up even more to like 12%. So then you would not use this host code, and there is a place to select the demonstrator. And if you don't have one, I would appreciate you selecting me, Robin Carter, out of Flower Mound, Texas. That was a lot of gabbing and my throat got dry. So let me get back to the cards. I did show how I made these seashells in my previous video, so I'm not going to do that again. But speaking of these shells, I did show how to leave it on your plate after you die cut it, and it helps you keep the little pieces because these pieces come out. And in that die set, it doesn't have a solid one to go behind this shell. It does in the larger one, but I wanted to show how to keep that together. So if you miss that and have this set and want to see how to do that, check out my previous video. But I did have a comment of how do I keep my plate so flat, and that didn't really, I tried to explain it, but I said I would share it in my next video. So hopefully you're watching and can see this. So as you can see here, I have one plate that is well loved. I've used it, I don't know. I should put a little date of when I start a die plate, but I use it till it just about falls apart, which this one is doing. So it's going to be time for a new one. But so I use one plate. I use the top, and then I flip it and use the bottom. And I know I'm sad someone used a die on my shim, but it still works. I should probably replace it, but I did ask, you have to replace both this, and I didn't think it was worth it. So I just, since it works, I just deal with it. So also you want to use your dies all over your plates, okay? So not just in the center, both sides, you want to move them around so you don't always cut in one spot. And then I keep a as clear as possible plate on top. It will get the impression of the die in there, like the top part, because it does squeeze through. So then when this one's had its useful life, I usually put this one down next. But I'm not sure why this plate already has some cracks. It's not all the way through, but it does have some cracks. And as you can see, they're pretty flat. So like I said, I don't know if it's my machine and the pressure. I did upgrade to the die cut and emboss machine, and that's what this is cut from. When I had my big shop before, it seemed like they did warp a lot. It was always this way, or in my long plate, it kind of did a little wave motion. But I've had good luck with this machine. So like I said, I don't know if it's my machine or the way I do it now, but it seems to work. All right, and one more tip when you're die cutting is I keep 2 clear plates, and this is for my embossing folders that are not 3D, because with the embossing sandwich, you want just that big base plate, a clear plate, and then your embossing, and then one on top. Again, those are for the ones that aren't 3D. So that's a good idea to keep those flat. That way you can always see your folder, because what you don't want it to do, and I turn my folders, all right, rather than run them straight through. I turn it just like I would any other square or rectangle die. If you turn them, it seems not to make that pop pop sound, and it goes through much more smoothly. So that way with the clear plate, I can make sure my embossing folder is not hanging off the edge and it will get damaged. So consider that if you are an avid crafter and have embossing folders and dies. Okay, so we've finished with that one. Again, you can see how to make these seashells in my previous video. And then I did use the same set for the little boat in the background here to add something to this side of the card. So I will add embellishments and stuff later. I usually make all my cards, and at the end, before I put them in their sleeves, I add embellishments at that time. Okay, so we had the piece left that we have is the boat piece for this card. Let's see if I have a solid one of what it looks like somewhere. But that's what I had left from this card piece. You would usually slip the little boat there in one of those layers, and I can show you on the instructions how it goes in there as a pop-up, but I wanted to make it into a separate card. So let me get to the details of this card. So the background is an envelope that I'd already cut up in my unboxing video, so I wanted to use it, so I just put that on the back. Now if I could do it again, I would probably take one of the stamps from the kit and add like the starfish, just kind of to give it some detail. I didn't do that then. I just put it straight down on my card base. And so again, this is a regular card. I've put it on the thick white card base. So since I cut this piece out, I was able to add it here. You can see this same wave goes right there. I was able to add more water to this boat piece. And so I also used a sand piece from the kit. But I wanted to show you, if you use that sand piece already and have this left and need more sand, let me show you a new set I just got in. It's called Gorgeously Made. I almost say gloriously made, but they're pretty glorious. So there is this strange die that you're probably like, what do I do with that? But I call it a landscape piece. It could just be a border jagged piece. But if you take a big enough piece of cardstock, right, and then run this through your die machine, you can end up with 2 landscape pieces. So I would simply use maybe the sand. This is not from the kit, but is there one? I'm really bad of using so many other things. To make it like sand pebbles on your background. And then you could use that as a sandy beach line. Okay, you could use either one. That one's pretty close to the same shape. Okay, so of course this is cut in crumb cake. If you could have a grassy scene cut in green. Now look at that, how that could layer on each other to give it like some dimension. I just learned something new. So anyway, this is a nice set to have. And then I want to show you this detailed leaf. This is kind of what also drove me to this set. This leaf I cut in Mossy Meadow. Let me flip over this card so you can see. So it not only die cuts these little bitty leaves, but it puts another little etched line around each leaf to give it more interest. So you could even like pop those up, you know, for detail in your leaf. But I love that. So hopefully that'll go with the flowers of the next kit, and I can add this beautiful leaf to those, even if it's partial, so you can cut it and just have a little bit. Okay, I do wish demonstrators got their kits first. That doesn't happen, and of course we get no more hints than you guys can get as far as the kits go. And I was surprised there wasn't a flyer in my kit. Let me know if you got a flyer in your kit advertising the next month's kit. It may have just been my kit, but usually we always get a little teaser as far as what's involved. Okay, so then using this same past paper pumpkin kit, and this used to be in the kits collection and they took it away. I used this lighthouse, and so I stamped it in Memento and then just colored in with Daffodil Delight for the light. This Happy Birthday comes from the May paper pumpkin kit that we just got, the one with the mountain, and so I thought this would make a nice, not quite so feminine birthday card. All right, and I did from the Chic die set, there is this detailed background die, and I really like it. It's just, I don't know why I like it, I just do. So I cut a little piece from it. Let me get it closer so you can see, and just adhered it behind there for some more detail. This crab, I did get an extra crab by scanning and cutting the crab with my scan and cut. Now, of course, it didn't get the white areas, and I'm okay with that. And then I colored it using my blending brushes and Melon Mambo ink. Okay, this seashell back here was simply white that I put in, that I stamped using the bigger stamp out of the Chic dies with Pebbled Path. That's a new color, or in color actually. Okay, this one I did the blending brush in Flirty Flamingo and then stamped over it with that detailed stamp that goes with the big shell. Okay, and then this one actually is a paper pumpkin kit. So in case you just do paper pumpkin, I try to always show alternates made with just paper pumpkin kits, and that one is a past on my mind. So I had never used the seashell in that kit, but as I was looking through my past paper pumpkin kits to see what some of you may have, I ran across that one, and I stamped that one in gray granite just so he didn't quite match with the sand back there. Okay, and then I did the same birds up here in the sky, and how I did that is I took a little piece of this same yellow. So when you do your yellow on your other card, don't do a huge strip. You just need a little bit to put back there. That way you have some for this guy. Okay, so these are my two alternates made with this card base, and actually not too many more supplies. Of course, you could always leave him off, or I think there are a few extra starfish that came in this month's kit, a few extra of those. And let me know what you think about these alternates. And always, if you have any questions, because I did not make this along with you, be sure and leave me a comment, and I'll do my best to explain to you more if I miss something. As I said, these two cards will be on my blog post that is part of the Paper Pumpkin Possibilities blog hop. So whether you found this video through the blog hop or maybe just because you're a YouTube subscriber of mine, be sure to go check out my blog, and there will be a link to the other members of the group to share their alternates for this kit. I think I did forget to share. I did put this boat piece up on dimensional, so it wasn't right up against the sky. I think I forgot to share that. I just noticed that. So anyway, side note there. So like I said, be sure and check out all the other members' alternates. I was having trouble with, we're using a new platform to share, and there will be, if there's not the people's names, there's something that says the blog carousel. Click on it and it will show all the names, and there's a next button and a next button. I don't know if it's just my blog platform or what that I'm having trouble, but we will see when it actually goes live. It goes live at 8 p.m. Central tonight, Wednesday, July, I almost said August, July 26th. So thanks for joining me today. I hope I did a decent job explaining how I made this. And until my next video, thanks for joining me. Have a great day.